Good afternoon. Welcome to day 55 of how I spent my corona confinement. And how are you spending yours? I don't know if you saw my my little announcement that I would be going live at 1:30, the one I do every day. But it said on it today, do you know what today is? And I'd like to ask you, do you know what today is? What are you going to respond? Well, you'll probably say today is the 11th of May, or you may say today is Monday, or I don't know what else you might say. But did you know that today is National Eat What You Want Day? Oh, it's better than that. It's Eat Whatever You Want Day. How do you like that? It's exciting. Well, it's on the East Coast. It's 1 o'clock, but you still got plenty of hours to eat whatever you want. So go for it. And it's also National Twilight Zone Day. So how perfectly can this be set up? I mean, first of all, Eat What You Want Day. Secondly, National Twilight Zone Day. That says to me, get a bunch of stuff together I want to eat, and there's always something I want to eat. Get your stuff together. No limits today. You can worry about limits tomorrow. And then just sit back, eat whatever you want, and binge watch The Twilight Zone. I mean, does it get any better than that? So I would invite you to do that. And it's probably what I might do. And it leads me to think, I wonder what day I would declare it to be. I'm going to ponder that a while, and we'll revisit that in a little bit. So if you're running through your mind, what would I want today to be? And then maybe you can come up with something quite fun, which you are invited to share by putting it in the comments. I would love to know what kind of day you would like to declare it to be. I'm thinking based on, I know you can see me messing with my hair. Gets worse every day. I shouldn't say that. That's a very negative affirmation. It gets better if I do something better with it. So, maybe tomorrow should be National Cut Your Own Hair Day. And then the next day we would have National Kleenex Day, because you'd probably be crying over what your hair looked like once you cut it. I know I would. I did that thing when I was a kid. But one of the best parts is that we can celebrate every day. I think I may or may not have told you about the book I wrote, like, gosh, it's going on 50, oh my goodness. It's going on, it's a long time ago. It's over 50 years ago. And I wrote a book for my friend. It was just a little cookbook I wrote for her as a gift. But in it, it was called The Bride Guide, a cookbook of sorts and other things, which I'm now writing as a satire, because what was life then has totally changed to what is life now. Some for the better, some for the worse. In any event, one of the chapters in that book said you should celebrate every day. You should find something to celebrate about every day. Now, you know, in the Daily Word, you get a word of the day, which is something to ponder, something positive to ponder. But every day has something to celebrate. That's how we get through these things. We celebrate them. We find causes to celebrate. So you're going to make a note to yourself now, if you've got a pencil there, National Day Calendar. You can find it on Facebook, or you can find it on the internet and subscribe to a daily reminder. And they tell you every day what it is. And I'm not going to look ahead. I could probably look ahead to see what tomorrow's going to be, but I'd rather be surprised. So, but when I wrote that book 50 years ago about how to have a happy marriage, and a happy life in general, but a happy marriage, because it was the bride guide. She was just getting married. And but one chapter was on making, looking for days to be special. If you're in the Catholic tradition, they got a saint for every day. You could always look up the saint of the day, see what that saint was known for, and see how you could celebrate that in your life. I think that's a good idea. Okay, and yesterday was Mother's Day, so I would ask you, how did you celebrate it? Did you celebrate it? Well, if you didn't, you might want to look at why not. Because, let's face it, we all had mothers, we're here, and some of us are mothers, and that's a good thing. And so if the idea is to draw out of every day something positive. Can you imagine, even if you didn't start until now, if you start today and you start celebrating something every day, can you imagine when you look back at this in 5 years, whatever, you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I remember when we made something special every day. You can make it special with food. You can make it special. If you have a whiteboard, you can draw something on the whiteboard that celebrates the day. You can cut something out with papers, or you can color things, you can paint things. There is a reason to celebrate every day. And of course, in the Catholic tradition it says that the Mass is celebrated. And what is the Mass celebrating but a major overcoming, right? What did you overcome yesterday? Good idea to celebrate. Did you get the things on your to-do list checked off? Perfect time to celebrate. About it, it was the carrot principle, Give yourself a treat for doing something good. Celebrate your good. What about something somebody else did? Can you celebrate their good? It doesn't have to be a birthday. You can just celebrate that they're your friend. Or you can just celebrate something nice they did for you, even if they did it 10 years ago. One time, when I was, it's at least 40 years ago, when I was a district sales manager for Avon, I had a manager named George. And I remember when I went for the job interviews, I had a different manager, and he was a bigger manager. I was just coming in the door. And I believe you can tell just by looking at me. I'm not a fashion plate. I'm low maintenance. And can you imagine someone working for a national Fortune 500 company as a manager, being a plain Jane homemaker with 4 kids? Kind of hard to wrap your mind around. And I was interviewed by by the first level management, and then I was interviewed by George. He was the next level up. And he told me, he listened to me. What did I envision? Why did I want to be a manager? And I told him that I wanted to be a manager because I really believe that the people could be encouraged to do great things. I also shared that we weren't getting the attention that I felt should be given in order to succeed. Well, he took this little diamond in a rough, and he sent me away. The first thing he did was he sent me to California for training. I was so nervous. I never left my home. I never left my kids. I had flown one time in all my life, and here I was flying cross country for a week. Very nerve-wracking, but I did it. The next thing he made me do was take the Dale Carnegie communications course, which is amazing. It's a little pricey, but I looked it up, and it's no more pricey than it was when I took it over 40 years ago. So it's $1,500 bite, but it's something you will never forget and that you will grow and expand with amazingly. So I took the course, and eventually I became a manager. I achieved Circle of Excellence 2 out of the 4 years I was with them. And I even went to him when I felt that Avon had made some changes that were detrimental to the representatives and their districts and the company. And I had a heart-to-heart with him, and then I left the company because he had said in that meeting, he said, think of the words from Dante's Inferno, through these gates abandon all hope. So what he was saying was the company was not changing. And if I saw a big problem with the company, I had to leave. And I had to leave. It's a great company. Don't get me wrong. I worked for Avon was one of the best companies I ever worked for. Things have changed. Sadly, there's no more Avon ladies that come to your door. They do it in different ways. But so many years ago, we're talking like 30 years or more after our little conversation, one day I looked him up and I found him. And I called him. And I said, George, I don't know if you remember me. Oh, he remembered me. I think I'm kind of hard to forget. But I said to him, I wanted to thank you for having faith in me. I understand I was just a little homemaker. And when I say just a little homemaker, I do not mean that I would, devalue that one bit. I think it's the most important job in the world. And I wish more people could enjoy that as a full-time job until their kids grow up. I mean, after their kids grow up. Anyway, see, I got so off track. But I wanted to thank him for having faith in me. I had no education for the job. At that time I was a recreation director in a convalescent home. But he saw me and had faith, and I called him because the faith he had in me gave me faith to do all kinds of things during the rest of my life and to this day. Think about it. Who would you like to celebrate today? Who opened a door for you? Who had faith in you? Who gave you that boost or that recommendation that you wanted, that you needed, who is it in your life that gave you honest advice? I've talked about my friend Helen before. Let me tell you something. That girl tells it like it is, even if you don't want to hear it. But she says her truth with love. And I have thanked her before for that. I still haven't thanked her yet for the tip on drinking hibiscus tea to balance blood pressure. Oh my God, that worked so well, and it still is working, and I hope it always works. Keeps me off medication. So there's always something to celebrate. Did you get your chores done? Did you lose a pound? Did you eat something healthy? Did you say something nice to somebody? We have our choice. We can sit and groan and moan and complain about the limitations that we perceive we are under. Or we can find something to celebrate every day. I think that's the best way we're going to get through it. There are lots of things to be concerned about. I am not going to, ignore that at all. I also invite you, maybe this is what you can celebrate, is if every day you look for what is a potential lesson in this for you or for the world or for your family. So you think about it. We've got, as I've said many times, the cosmic 2x4. The cosmic 2x4 is that whoa moment when you go, why did that happen? And then if you don't pay attention and figure out why it happened, bam, you get the cosmic 4x8. And then you go, why is this happening again? Warning, warning, warning. If you don't look to see why it's happening again, you got that 8x16 going to whack you on the back of the head next. So it's a great, that's back to cause and effect. Whatever you're experiencing is an effect of a cause that was sent out earlier. Well, there's another thing we can celebrate as we are in this period of opportunity for growth, and that is getting in touch with your desire. Now, do not connect inappropriately or incorrectly connect the word desire with lust. Lust is another whole thing. It's a physical thing, or it's a contrary thing to highest good. When I talk about desire, the word means of the Father. Of the Father means of God, that we were given desires in our life to achieve and to see things happening and to see things that needed to happen to make the world a better place or to make our life better. You have desires in you. You might have, stacked a whole bunch of chores on top of them, or gottas or shoulds, or, disrespecting the actual desire that God gave you for your life. I wanted to read, and would you know, I put the paper somewhere. I've got my little notes here, and I put it somewhere, and I lost it, so I have to try to remember it. What it is that the fact that you have a desire is the evidence that what you desire was meant to be yours. In other words, it's what you want knocking on the door. Because if you never acknowledge out loud, in person, up front and personal, what you want, what your desires are, you're not going to be able to have them. But you were given those desires for a purpose. And they weren't just about you and your life. They were about being a positive presence in the world. You could be that positive presence to a goldfish. But if you're a positive presence to that goldfish, you're achieving the mission. Then you can move on to a greater expression of that mission. So what is it that you would like to express? What is it that you would like to press into manifestation? Because your desire for it means God is saying, come on, I got this for you. Don't you want it? This is the time when we're not bogged down with a billion things and chores and places to go and things to do and people to see. This is your time to get in touch with your desires. I so encourage you. Go back and think about, what did you want to be when you were a child? That was a desire put in your heart. Now, you may not manifest that exactly as you had it. I mean, I'm 4'11", and if I desired to be a basketball player in life as I knew it, that probably wasn't going to happen unless I chose a women's basketball team, so the people are a little shorter. Of course, I've seen a lot of tall women. But I could join a senior basketball team. I could join a park and rec basketball team. You see what I'm saying? But it could be there's something greater. When I was a little kid, I had 3 major desires. Oh, I had 4. Hang on a minute, get a little tickle. Crabby till I get my coffee. I had 4 desires. I wanted to be a mommy. I wanted to be a nun. I wanted to be, are you ready? A trapeze artist in the circus. And I wanted to be a movie star, an actress. Well, I'm not any of those things. But in a way, well, I am. I'm a mommy. Gosh, yes, I'm a mommy, and I love that. So I got to be a mommy. A nun, well, I didn't get there, but I am a minister, which actually, back in those days as a Catholic little girl, I did not know I had other options. So that I wanted to serve God. So I guess that's how I saw it, as a nun. The trapeze artist in the circus, that was never going to happen. That's one of those things that's fun to look at, but once I got up on that perch, are you kidding? I can't go up to look at Meriden Tower and look down from the wall. I won't even get near to the wall, and it's almost as big as I am. I'm not going there. So the trapeze artist was out, although I do swing out and take a lot of chances in life. I'm not afraid to stand up and go for it. And then the movie star, hey, I'm making a video now, aren't I? Not a movie star, but I'm getting to share, and I do get to act sometimes, and I'm a writer, so I write stories, and I read my stories, so that's like being an actress. I read them at the campground, and I'm currently making as soon as this is over. I'll get back to doing my audiobook. So start with what you wanted to be when you were a child and see if you can build up onto that to let those desires, let those seeds be planted and watered and fertilized. And when you come out of this, you will come out of your confinement time and burst forth just like a plant, you know, bursts forth from the seed. All right, let's go back to what day do you declare? You think of something, put it in the comments. If you think of something later, put it in the comments there. I have a thought for tomorrow for me. My thought is, I am declaring Alicia's official National Do Nothing Day. Do nothing I don't want to do, because I love being here with you. So you'll see me tomorrow if you choose to tune in. So I think I'm going to be, and I'm going to add on to that National Do Only What You Want Day, and I think I'm going to declare it in jammies. I think I'm going to come to you tomorrow in my jammies, sitting back, enjoying Alicia's National Do Whatever You Do What You Want, or don't do whatever you don't want to do day. I'll figure it out by tomorrow. Think about it. What day do you want to declare? Doesn't even have to be a national day. You can make it up yourself. Now we're going to do a quick visualization exercise before I leave you today. So what I would like to invite you to do is to just kind of relax, take a deep breath, and I would like to invite you to bring to mind, see yourself, use that wonderful gift of imagination. It is today, 30 days after the coronavirus crisis has passed. It's gone. It's been gone for 30 days. What are you doing? How has this experience changed you? How has it changed your family, your community, our nation? How are you applying lessons learned through this experience to the good of the whole? Take that image, connect your thoughts and your feelings to it. And as you ponder these thoughts, I invite you to let this prayer be yours. Dear Lord, I am open and receptive to your living Spirit of truth. I am open and receptive to divine ideas. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? Thank you, God. Amen. So our little exercise was like a planting of a seed. What seed will grow from that? Think on this. Now you have a great day. God bless you. And know that I behold the divinity in you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless.